Hi, my name is Chris Podelic. I'm here in the Addison Historical Museum with Jeanette Paradiso, the curator of the Addison Historical Museum. The Addison Historical Museum is open on Saturdays from 10 o'clock to 2 p.m. Today we're going to be discussing Clarence Feeney. In past episodes we've been discussing some of his memoirs about the Addison community, but today we have some of his tools that have been donated.
Clarence was employed by International Harvester. He was a World War II veteran. He lived up to the ripe old age of 94. He died in the year 2002. Mr. Feeney's father, Charles Feeney, who was the barber in town, had his barber shop on East Lake Street. The address was 96 East Lake Street. The more I work on this project, the more I realize what an interesting and generous man Clarence Feeney was. Because besides giving us his fond memories of Addison, he also gave us a number of objects that are in our museum on display. What we have today are a number of tools that Mr. Feeney claims came from his great-grandfather, Edward Feeney. And supposedly, Mr. Feeney built these tools in the year approximately the year 1840. And he used apple wood for making most of them. So I'd like to talk a little bit about each of these tools. Sure. What I find kind of interesting, Chris, is that before you could actually use a tool early on, you had to build a tool to do what you wanted it to do first. So looking at some of these on this end, we have tools that are for boring holes in wood. And first we have a basic auger that has a tip on the end of it. And I guess you would just insert that in the wood and then twist it to make the hole in the wood.
Sure.
Over here we have what is called a brace for a drill bit. This drill bit is attached to a removable piece here. This is what the removable piece looks like, and this has a different kind of bit on it. This one here has kind of a triple point on it almost, but it's shaped a little bit differently than the other bit. And what you're holding there, Chris, is called a draw knife, and you would hold it with two hands and scrape the wood towards you, and it would basically kind of shave the wood.
I see. So,
and next to that is this plane that kind of does a similar type of work. You would actually pull that across the wood too to kind of smooth the wood and maybe shave some rough parts off of that.
I see.
Okay.
And what is this here?
Yeah, that is called a router, and there is another router right with it on the end there, and those are for creating grooves in wood for decorative purposes, and then maybe for other purposes also.
The craftsmanship is excellent and in good condition on all of these tools.
Yes, for how old they're probably 175
Sure.
years old, if they're from 1840. So yes, they have held up very well. And then the last item on this table is what's called a dowel threader. Now we don't know too much about that, but you can see it's a pretty intricate tool. The pieces go together here, and we'll have to look further into exactly what that does. I've tried to do a little research on it, but I couldn't really put too much together on it. So.
Now this is just a small portion of our large collection of tools here at the museum,
Yes,
is that correct?
We have a very large collection of tools, and most of them are in the coach house, which is the building behind our museum.
Sure.
So we have a volunteer who is working on taking photographs of those tools and other items in the coach house. So that's one reason why this kind of connected with the project on Clarence Feeney that
Absolutely.
we've been working on.
Well, thank you, Jeanette.
Okay, thank you, Chris.